Hello, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is where you'll find celebrity crime and hot topics. All right, y'all, a couple quick updates on Lynn Price. According to the Houston Chronicle, the jail turkey leg hut owner, Lynn Price, wants speedy trial, opposes request for delay. Lynn Price, the jail former owner of Turkey Leg Hut, and his co-defendants in a federal arson case are at odds with each other over how quickly they should face a jury over the felony charges. Price on Friday filed a court motion asking to be tried promptly and for a judge to deny the three other defendants' request for a 2-month continuance in their case. Price and three other men, John Lee Price, Mosiah Shepard, and Armani Williams, were arrested in April and charged with crimes related to a 2020 fire at Bar 5015, a business that neighbored the Turkey Leg Hut. A trial date for all four men has tentatively been set for September. Lynn Price is accused of hiring the other men to set fire to the bar. According to federal prosecutors, Lynn Price was feuding with the bar's owner, Steve Rogers, his former business partner with the Turkey Leg Hut. The news of the arson indictment brought a new twist to the tumultuous story of the Turkey Leg Hut, a once wildly popular restaurant that closed in 2024. Along with the bar arson, Lynn Price is also accused of ordering a stolen car to be burned, apparently to hide evidence of a chop shop he was running. According to prosecutors, during a detention hearing, prosecutors also said Lynn Price was believed to be selling marijuana out of the business. He hasn't been charged with any drug crimes. I mean, as if you weren't making enough money off the turkey legs. Why you got to be selling marijuana out of there too? They just be doing too much. Boy, you can't take the crook out the criminal. On July 5th, Williams' attorneys asked Judge Richard Bennett to grant a 60-day extension to the case to allow them more time to review evidence in the case. John Lee Price's and Shepard's attorneys were unopposed to the request. U.S. Department of Justice prosecutors were also okay with the delay. Lynn Price's attorneys don't want the delay. In a 3-page motion, they noted that Price is the only one of the 4 defendants being held in custody pending a trial and is asserting his right to a speedy trial. Price also asked the court to consider his motion to dismiss the entire case. Y'all, what if this man gets off? Oh, if he gets off, Lord, what are we gonna do? In May, Lynn Price asked the court to dismiss the charges against him, arguing that his civil rights were violated because one of the lawyers representing a co-defendant has previously represented him. Under federal law, defendants are supposed to have their case heard within 70 days of an indictment, though judges typically grant numerous delays in such cases. In 2023, it took an average of 10.4 months for a criminal case to be disposed, a 60% increase from 2018. Do you hear that, Sonya? Do you hear that? Sonya is someone on another case or another situation that I cover. So if you're new to the channel and you came here for the Turkey Leg Hut news, y'all check out my other content as it relates to Ernest Williams, who was married to Shirley Strawberry, co-host of Steve Harvey. He's been awaiting a trial or a plea or anything for 3 years, but there's way more to the story. His side chick believes that a case should only take 6 months. From beginning to end, it should only take 6 months. But according to these statistics in 2023, it took an average of 10.4 months for a criminal case to be disposed, a 60% increase from 2018. So maybe that was true before, Sonya, where a case should only take 6 months. But things are different now. I mean, they are. I mean, COVID probably screwed things for the rest of our lives, unfortunately. Mr. Lindell's Price continued detention. Continued detention is an oppressive pretrial incarceration, considering the previous motions for continuance have come from defendants on pretrial release and have been unopposed by the government, his lawyers wrote. No hearings have been set regarding the motion to dismiss or the trial schedule. All right, so he wants a speedy trial because he's the only one locked up out of he and the co-defendants who he allegedly paid to burn/blow up Bar 5015. And as y'all know, Steve Rogers and Bar 5015 have come back stronger, like 10 times stronger since that happened. So as a Houston native, shouts out to them. Okay, and then another thing about him too, about Mr. Lindell. ABC 13 investigates ex-Turkey Leg Hut owners. Oyster Hut shows hostility toward inspectors. Go figure. Business owners say they're frustrated that the Oyster Hut continues to operate without proper permits. 13 investigates citations at the restaurant and why police are now accompanying health department inspectors at 10 p.m. Oh, wow.
Tonight, a restaurant in Third Ward that some say seems to be above the law.
We're talking about the Oyster Hut, a spinoff of the popular Turkey Leg Hut.
13 Investigates' Micah Hatfield has been trying to figure out for months how the Oyster Hut has avoided serious action from the city despite repeated citations.
Several people in the community reached out to us with concerns about this spot. One of those being that they tell us it feels like the Oyster Hut is being held to a different, lower standard than other businesses in the city, and they don't understand why. Since we started asking questions, the Texas Comptroller's Office and the Health Department put citations on the gate of the Oyster Hut restaurant. For years, the now shuttered Turkey Leg Hut had lines of people down the sidewalk willing to face the heat to eat there. As the restaurant got wrapped up in lawsuits, the empire began to crumble and eventually closed down completely. One of the former owners, Lynn Price, started his own venture, the Oyster Hut. First, it was located in the parking lot directly across the street on Alameda from the original restaurant. Then it moved to 2010 Emancipation. The hut part of its name rings true. It's an outdoor space that's only partially covered and only a gate with a padlock.
Has anybody been? I actually at one point wanted to check it out.
Closes it off to the public. A number of people spoke off camera to 13 Investigates, expressing frustrations about how it's being run by the owners and how it seems to be untouchable by the city. Health Department records show there have been repeated complaints against the Oyster Hut, at least 16 in the last year. In the inspectors' reports, they call this an illegal establishment and note that they don't have the right permits. They've gone as far as to shut them down several times, but then note in their follow-up inspection reports that the restaurant has just reopened on its own, still without permits. One time, an inspector noted that during a conversation about their lack of permits, he was told by an Oyster Hut staff member that his own boss, someone higher ranking at the health department, would be calling the inspector. Now, police accompany health inspectors because they tell us there have been several hostile interactions. HPD has been involved themselves. In December, their vice unit arrested Price for serving alcohol without a permit.
Sounds like somebody needs to lose their job.
Without a permit. His charge was dropped 11 days later. Court records citing there was no probable cause. 13 Investigates confirmed with the Texas Alcoholic Beverage Commission, Houston Public Works, and the State Comptroller's Office that they don't have the right permits. Plus, the Comptroller's Office says they owe back taxes. When we were questioning the health department about it, a spokesperson told us the restaurant was closed, but their social media says otherwise. People familiar with the situation say the restaurant opens in the evenings after the city's inspectors are off work. They questioned how this has been able to go on for so long without any real repercussions. City agencies say because of how the ordinance is written, they don't have the authority to shut down businesses that are not in compliance. They can write an infinite number of citations. The health department acknowledged the limitations, but say they have engaged the city attorney's office and other partners to enforce closure of the restaurant. 13 Investigates has tried to reach the Oyster Hut for comment, but they blocked members of our team on social media. They blocked me on Instagram before I ever even reached out to them when I was just questioning the city.
One thing we can say is Lindell knows his rights and knows his way around the law.
That's it. We stopped by the restaurant different days, different times of the day, hoping to find someone, but they were never open. We called people listed on citations as being the manager, and they told us they weren't with the restaurant anymore. Micah Hatfield, ABC 13 Eyewitness News.
Oyster Hut owner and former Turkey Leg Hut owner Lynn Price is currently being held without bond on Fed charges. He's accused of paying several people to blow up Bar 5015 on Alameda 5 years ago. He's pled not guilty to those charges.
Lindell might be pretty confident that he will get off or he won't get too much of a sentence since he wants to speed up the trial. What do y'all think? Drop down in the comments. One thing we can say about Lindell Price is he has some balls, right? And he knows his way around the law. All right, well, I'll try to keep y'all updated and drop down in the comments and let me know if y'all have gone to Oyster Hut. I actually wanted to get over there because I like oysters. I like char grilled oysters. But don't tell nobody, and I won't tell y'all if I go. Well, thanks for watching. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification button so you don't miss any of my videos. Lindell Price, he's locked up, but he said y'all can't stop his business. Y'all can't stop his grind. Y'all can't stop his paper. Oh, Lord. It's going down. NH time.